Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Hello, and welcome to today's Saturday with Stacey YouTube class number 606. Yes, I just looked down to make sure I had the right YouTube number, 606. Welcome everybody. If you are joining me during the premiere of today's class, well, we are live chatting right over there. You'll see a live chat over there if you're on a desktop or a laptop, and perhaps if you're on a different device like a phone, the live chat may be below us. Now, we premiere my Saturday with Stacey YouTube classes every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. sunny California time. That's 10 a.m. Central and 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And this is a full-length, commercial-free, technique-based class. So I hope you're able to join me for the entire class, but I do understand if you have to kind of chunk it up. And being that it is a technique-based class, there is something here for everybody. We start at the beginning and we end at the end. And while some of you may know some of this already, I always want to welcome new crafters in. Hello, if there's anybody, a newbie out there, don't worry, I've got you covered. We don't just jump to the hard part. We start with the simple so that you can follow along and so that your confidence can build and you can say, you know what? I can do that, because you can. So today I have got Katy Sue designs for you, but perhaps in a way you haven't seen Katy Sue before. And there's a teeny little story to go with it. But before I get there, of course we have Winner Chicken Dinner to talk about. Of course we do. So Winner Chicken Dinner is something we do every week. We always give two away, two winners announced every week. And the prize started at $25, but then I changed how we figured out how much we were going to give away, what the gift card was going to be worth. And it became about clicks, about not so much clicks, but likes. How many likes the video gets. And the more likes the video gets, the higher that gift card went. So we are at $100 because we hover right around 1,000 likes. If we can get to 1,250 likes, I think I will lose my mind when I get to tell you that I get to give away more money. But for now, $100 is nobody's gonna poo-poo a $100 gift card, right? That works for most people. They'll be very excited to get $100. And like I said, it's two winners every single week. How do you get the chance to win? Super easy. There's a comment section below me where you can post a comment. That's all you have to do. You have to like the video. 1,250 likes. Come on, people. I know we can do it. Come on. You like the video and then you post your comment down below. And that comment generally is approved right away. And if it's not, don't worry, we'll get you approved. Sometimes there's some keywords that YouTube says, oh, wait, we don't know about that one yet. So they want us to approve it. But you post a comment, and it doesn't have to be about crafting or Scrapbooking Made Simple or me, or it can just be something like, had a great day today. That's it. Could be that. Could be, took my dog for a walk. Absolutely. Doesn't have to be anything except for what you want it to be, as long as it is kind, polite, nice. That's all we ask for. And really, in life, that's not asking too much, is it? So you post your comments below. Once we get closer to the date of the video, usually Friday, it's when we pull them Friday. That way we give you enough time to post your comment. We have our software randomly select two winner chicken dinners, and that's what I have for you today. Now, there's always been a couple questions. Can international people win? Yes. Can we ship to you? If you receive mail, you can win. If we can get you the package, you're a winner chicken dinner. Absolutely post your comment. Also, does your YouTube username have to actually be your real name? Well, no, it doesn't, but there has to be a way for us to identify you. If we can't, usually we can take some of your username if it's a bit wonky, and we can figure out who you are one way or another. And if we can do that, you too can be a winner chicken dinner. And in fact, one of the winners today does not have a typical YouTube username. It's not her regular name, but we figured it out. So I've got these two lucky winners who have won $100 because they posted a comment on YouTube number 605. And that was with the Sumi ink and the water and the kit and the marbling. Oh, it was so much fun. It is mesmerizing and decompressing all at the same time. That's an amazing kit. So these two lucky ladies posted a comment, and now they get to sit up and do the winner chicken dance after I've called their name. So our first winner is Sherry. Sherry Skelton? Sherry Skelton, is that right? Hello, Sherry, I'm hoping that's right. I'm looking at your name going, Sherry. It has to be Sherry, right? Hello, Sherry, and if it's not, you're gonna forgive me anyway, because you see your name with a $100 gift card attached to Scrapbooking Made Simple. That means free money to spend any way that makes your heart happy. Congratulations. Have I left it up there long enough for you to take a screenshot of it? I hope so. But you're not alone. We always do two winners, and the second winner does have an unusual YouTube name. All right, Batty Girl Rachel. Batty Girl Rachel's been around for a long time with Scrapbooking Made Simple. Hey girl, hey. Batty Girl Rachel, you are our second winner chicken dinner. Congratulations to you. There is $100 in your online account ready for you to spend right now. You and Sherry are like wahoo kachoo for this week. You just never know when I'm gonna call your name, but what I can tell you is if you never post a comment, I will never call your name. This I'm positive of, but I bet these two are completely shocked that this week is their lucky week. And $100 to spend? Yeah, I think so. So, ladies, Sherry and Batty Girl Rachel, we have to do the winner chicken dinner dance, and I take it on faith that you do it. You may be going, oh no, I'm not gonna do the winner chicken dinner dance, even though I just won. Don't ever tell me that, because I take it on faith that if you are a winner, you're going to do the winner chicken dinner dance with me. Are you ready? Oh, I feel like, okay, like a cheerleader. You're a winner. Wait a minute. I was off. You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo, for you. Triple time it. No, I won't. Honorary SMS girl Catherine's like, triple time? Yeah, we could do triple time, but we won't. All right, you two, congratulations. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. It's yours. It's in your online account. Spend it any way that makes your heart happy. Be frivolous with it. Buy something you would never buy for yourself. Share it with your crafty friends if you so choose to. But Batty Girl Rachel and Sherry Skelton, well done you. This is your week. Congratulations. Okay, let me put those over there. Now, I am working with Katy Sue today, and I'm working with Bruynzeel pencils. So, before I tell you about Katy Sue, let me tell you a little bit about Bruynzeel. Bruynzeel is a brand that is carried by Royal Talons. I'm an art ambassador for Royal Talons, but we have been selling Bruynzeel colored pencils and watercolor pencils for a very long time because they are a quality product. They come from a fine art company, so the higher the more fine art it is, usually the better the quality the product is, and we've loved Bruynzeel, both in their colored pencils and their watercolor pencils. Right now, not sure what's going on, but I do know that once we are sold out of our Bruynzeel colored pencils and watercolor pencils, it could be upwards of a year before we see them again. I know, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do. We're looking at different options, as is, Royal Talons. Everybody's trying to figure this out, but it could be a year before we see more Bruynzeel colored pencils or watercolor pencils coming in. Now, with that said, a few weeks ago, I scored a deal. I don't know how it happened. The crafty gods were looking down on me because we had just been talking about what to do with Bruynzeel and how to manage it. And I've been talking with Royal Talons, and Kim, who is part of Royal Talons, reached out to Kyle, who's like the big mucky muck. He's the sweetest heart. I mean, just the nicest guy, but he's the big mucky muck over at Royal Talons North America. And I'm like, I need Bruynzeel. And he's like, we can't get it for you. Well, they must have found something in the back room, because I got an email about a very special set that is they call it a coloring and drawing set. So it has colored pencils, it has watercolor pencils. It's a complete set from Bruynzeel, and it retails for like $81.50. And I was able, so I got on the phone like that email came in, and 2 seconds later I was on the phone with Matt over at Royal Talons. I'm like, hey, Matt, I just got this email. Do you really have these in stock? Really? And he's like, yes, we really do. I said, really? And he said, yes, Stacey, really. I said, I'll take them all. He said, you'll take them all? I said, yes, I'll take them all. And he said, well, if that's the case, I can give you a better price. Wahoo Kachoo for me and wahoo Kachoo for you, because I was able to get that $81.50 set. I'm able to bring it to you for $48 and I think 99 cents, and that is a wahoo Kachoo. But we only have so many, and I am featuring in the Studio with Stacey classes, I'm featuring, this month was colored pencils and watercolor pencils. So I have them here. I'm going to be using them. I know we still have some left. Just know that when Bruynzeel is gone, it could be 6 months, a year, it could be longer before we see any product from them coming through our way. So that's one thing I want to talk to you about. Second thing, Katy Sue. So I'm in Germany, right? I'm at the show in Germany at Creative World, and I'm going up and down the aisles and up and down the aisles, and I finally get to the aisle that has Katy Sue, and there's Sue. Sue, hello, how are you doing? And I come in and I sit down and I meet Sunny. She's new with the company. Hey, Sunny. And we're talking, and that's where I learn about these molds. You know, those molds that I've been using with the clay. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. Absolutely love them. And I'm looking at the new decoupage sheets that are coming out. And then Sue looks at me and she goes, I have something I want to show you. And I'm like, oh, I like that idea. What is it? She goes, well, how do you feel about quilling? Okay, don't worry. Do not turn me off. We are not quilling today. Do not worry about it. Trust me. I said, quilling? I said, oh no. No, I have friends who do the most amazing quilling job. Hey, Melissa. Melissa can quill. I mean, what she does is beyond. But no, not for me. Thank you very much. She said, let me just show it to you. It's new, and we're pretty excited about it. And I'm like, okay, you go ahead and you show it to me, because, well, she was excited about it, and okay, I'll be excited with you, but no. So she brings over this pad of paper. I'm going and I'm looking at this pad of paper, and it's filled with sheets of letters. I'll show it to you. And she said, see, you just quill, you just follow the outline, and you take the paper and you bend the paper and you glue the paper. It's not even the quilling like with where you make the little circles. This wasn't even that quilling. This was like quilling that it stands up and you gotta bend the paper to fit around. And I'm like, oh, Sue, I really love you. I do. But that's no. So I'm looking at the pad and I'm going, and I say, So I don't say anything to Sue. We come back from Germany and I have to place an order for other Katy Sue product. So I throw a few of these into my basket and check out with it. Nobody pays a bit of attention. Nobody, I ordered like 6. Nobody paid a bit of attention. I get them here and then I start to play with it. And I'm like, you may think it's for quilling, Sue, but oh no. I got better ideas of what to do with this. So today I have got an amazing pad for you from Katy Sue. Actually, I've got the pad, I've got the frames, I've got the sentiments, I've got it all for you. But this pad is so useful. So if you are a new crafter learning to watercolor, this is a great pad for you. If you are a new crafter learning to color pencil, this is a great pad for you. If you are a new crafter learning how to use markers, this is a great pad for you. If you are a wildly talented, been crafting since dirt creator, well, this is a great pad for you. It is amazing what you can do with it. I have always been very, very careful about bringing in alphabets. They can be expensive, especially, we've done it with dies a couple times, but they can be really expensive. And a stamp set that has 3 or 4 inch letters, A through Z, can you even imagine the price? So when I'm at Germany, I sat there and I'm like, I'm not gonna do the quilling. I can't do it. I love you, Sue and Sunny. You guys are amazing. But the more I sat there, the more I thought about what could I do with a blank pad that has pre-printed letters on it that are beautifully done, that have florals going around it. How might Staceyfy a Katy Sue item? That's what we're gonna do today. So I've got this pad, and let me tell you, it's meant for quilling. And when I mean quilling, I mean the stand-up kind of quilling. But inside is dreaminess, and it's affordable. I think that the I Want It All bundle, which is the best price, which gets you the pad, it gets you the frames and the sentiments and the aperture frames, that's going to get you the best price. But even without getting the I Want It All bundle, I still think it's about $21, $22. And you get the opportunity to make 54 different somethings. 54 different somethings, right? I think so. All right, I'm gonna tilt on down. We're gonna get started for today. Thanks for hanging with me. You had to know how it came to be. And well, Sue, here it is. I told you I was doing something with it. Hey, I know it isn't quilling. I just looked at her. I said, oh, Sue, love you. Very excited for you, but no. Although I can already, Melissa is probably texting me right now. Well, what kind of quilling was it? Can you still get it for me? All right, let me zoom on in. Oh, and let me show you some samples real quick of what we're going to be doing today. And we will get the show on the road. Look at how cute is this. So, what is this, a 3-inch letter? 4-inch letter? Look at how cute is this. Or, look at how cute is this. So to get a stamp A through Z, that would be a pricey set when we're talking about letters of this size. The florals are built right in. Isn't this lovely? So let me show you everything because I am super excited about it. All right, so it is a pad. It's 300 GSM. Let's see, 27 letters and characters. I'm trying to see the weight of the paper. I think it's 300 GSM, but I can't see. I'm cleaning my glasses just in case I'm missing it. I can't see where it says. Yeah, we're not doing the quilling. I love you to death, but we're not doing the quilling. Yep, still not doing the quilling. So we have our practice template, but then when you get into it, you've got, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wait. There's the end. Okay, here's the A. I find my hand. There we go. There's the A. So it's got this very lightly printed, there we go, there's the A. This very lightly printed design where you are supposed to take a strip of paper and bend the paper around the design and glue it in place. And it is beautiful. I mean, the pictures are absolutely stunning, but I can't do it. I just can't. I mean, the pictures are absolutely gorgeous. But I thought to myself, well, here's 2 A's and 2 B's and 2 C's, and the size of them allows you to work with them as an A2, an A6, a 5x7, a square, and for $21, $22, you could have an initial for everybody. I mean, you get 2 of every letter. This is the perfect thing to do when you don't really know the person you're doing something for, or to travel with, because you just color these while you're traveling. I thought that this was a phenomenal idea, just not for quilling. So today we're going to be working with the Bruynzeel color and drawing set. This is it. It comes with your metallic colored pencils. It comes with watercolor pencils, 2 sharpeners, an eraser, a paintbrush, and then you lift the tray and you have graphite pencils and you have colored pencils. All of this from Bruynzeel in one set. I had never seen the set before. It must have been something that was like a bespoke set. That's what they say over in the UK when something's custom, bespoke, a one-off. And when this came available, I literally grabbed that phone and called Matt over at Royal Talons. And I said, really? And he said, yes. And I said, really? And he said, yes. And I said, I want them all. And he said, yes. And then he gave me a better price for taking them all. Thanks, Matt. So we are going to be working with this today. We are going to be working with both the watercolor pencils and the colored pencils. I'm going to do things in both so you can see the difference. We only have so many of these to go around, and when they are sold out, they're sold out. And as I said, it could be upwards of a year before we see anything from Bruynzeel again. Oh, it's going to be a long wait. Now, we do also have smaller sets. Whatever we have left, we have on sale. So, I mean, this is a 12 set of watercolor pencils. So there are other sets available. But that big set is a holy smokes artichokes type of price. Now, I'm also going to be working with, they call these Detail Master Pigment Liner. They're like a fine liner, like the Bruynzeel fine liners, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get too much more Bruynzeel fine liners, and I hope. This is a little bit different because this is a pigment-based ink. So these are from Yasutomo, and I'm going to be playing with these today, and I'm going to be outlining things. This is going to be so fun and so easy. I think you're really going to enjoy where this goes. Now we have these on sale too. I want to say they retail for like $10.70. $10.70, and they'll be on sale. This is my one and only set. The rest of them are on their way in. So I'm like not letting anybody have this or borrow it. This one's mine. So let's grab some letters, and I think we'll start with our colored pencils first and not our watercolor. Now they've done this in 2 sizes, so you actually can do a 5x7 here. Let me just draw around it so you can see. I'll get a big marker oh, that's not a big marker. I'll get a big marker. So they put little dotted lines around, so if you wanted to cut, but the first box is actually a 5x7, and the second box is a 6x6. The size of the letter, the design, stays the same regardless of which box you're using. But if you wanted to do something 5x7, you could. If you wanted to do something 6x6, you could. Or you could do an A2 or an A6 with either of these. And then you change the page, and then you go into your letter B, and then your letter C. So let's take and maybe I'll do a D. And the E is pretty. Now what I like about this is you may not have a friend or somebody in your family that has starts their name with the letter X. So you get to use the letters that you wouldn't normally use for an actual finished project as practice. And in the front of the book, that tells you all about quilling. It gives you all the instructions on how to quill. There's even a template with a practice page. There's an A, B, and C, and they are full size as well. So you could use these on top of everything that's in here. Now I'm gonna take, maybe I'll do both of my X's. Let's pull out, or maybe I'll do well, I like V. How about a Q? But maybe there's a Quentin. Octavia. Oh, we'll take a Q. So to give you an idea, the Detail Masters from, I think that's what they're calling them, yeah, Detail Masters from Yasutomo, there's 5 different sizes of the tip. You go from a what is it, a point 1 to a full 1. So there's 1. Two. 3. 4. So you can see the sizing of the nibs and how they gradually get thicker and thicker. So you get all 5 of them in there, which is really nice because then you decide what width you want to play with. What is it you want to do? And some of the things we're going to do today, we're going to outline, and some of the things we do today, we're not going to outline. So there's this dotted line, and all I have to do is follow it, and I don't even have to be that exact. All I have to do is follow the dotted line. And if I'm a little bit off, no worries, because we're going to be coloring. But if you want it to have that look like you've stamped it, all I have to do, and my lines are not perfect. They're not completely straight. I don't want them to be completely straight. I want it to look like it's hand drawn. Now you can see that rose and those dotty little lines. And again, I'm not being overly careful. I'm just coming in here, and close is good enough. I don't want you to think that this is going to take a long time to draw out, because it isn't. All I want to do is get it close to what it's supposed to be. Once I add my paint, or my colored pencil, or my watercolor pencil, it's all just going to melt into each other and look beautiful. In fact, I'm not even going to draw the little veins for the leaves. I'm just going to let them be for now. Now, the thing about these detail markers, detail pens, is that they do not smudge with water. That's a big bonus points for me. The Bruynzeel fine liners will tend to react with water. And again, I didn't get it perfect. I'm not trying for perfect. I didn't even do the little lines inside. I'm just following and tracing. So there's one. That was in my finest pen. Now my thickest pen will do the Q. And you will be able to see the difference in the width of the lines, the weight of the lines. And you'll be able to do everything in between, because you have 3 other markers that are in between these 2 sizes. And again, I'm just kind of going around. I'm not trying to be perfect. Once we start coloring, nobody's going to see, and they're going to think you hand sketched this. Let them. I could no more hand sketch this than I could make probably a macaron. I like to eat them, but yeah, no. Not where my talents lie. So I just want you to see the weight of the different markers and see the thickest one to the thinnest. And then know that there's 3 other sizes in between that you get to choose from. Okay, so there's my X versus my Q. Look at the difference of the weight. Maybe you like this one. It's a little softer, it's a little lighter, it's a little finer. Maybe you prefer the heavier one. Takes up a little bit more of the line room. Your choice. And then you have 3 in between to choose from. But I wanted you to see. I also wanted you to see what it looks like once you do add. So there's the plain, just the plain image. But here it is when you've outlined it. Now we're not going to outline. I think I'll do one outline and one non-outline. And that way maybe you see the difference. Is that what I think I want to do? Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to outline one of these and I'm going to leave the other one not. And we're going to... Oh, and I want to use, I like the thinner line. So I'm going to come in here and outline my D. And everywhere I see that dotted line, all I'm doing is following it. And I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for a guide. See, look at how easy that is. And now I can see it clearly, what it is I'm doing. Finish outlining my D. So you could take them one day and do all your outlining if you wanted. You could paint all of these in the book, color them any way you want, and have it ready to go when you need to pull a card for somebody. You need to make a birthday card or something, a thank you or a get well, and you, especially when you don't know the person, you know their name. So it's easy to do these for that kind of a need. When you're not 100% sure, you know the person, but you don't really know the person, but you want to send them something nice. And a monogrammed card, people always love. I'm a good tracer. I'm an excellent tracer. But a drawer, not so much. Okay. My D is drawn. Now I'm going to come in and color. Because the E we will do without outlining it. And we're going to start with colored pencils. So those of you who cannot, just the sound of Gamsol just drives you crazy, this is when you put me on mute. Because we are going to be using some Gamsol today. Gamsol is a mineral spirit. It is odorless, and what it does is it takes the wax in a colored pencil and it dissolves it. So let me show you. Let me bring you back my X, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna lift up my tray so I can see my colored pencils. I need my colored pencils. So my tray there. Now I've got my watercolor pencils up there. So colored pencils here. Deal with watercolor pencils later. So let me just give you an idea. So if we were to go in and we were to color a little bit of this, and you want to put down a light layer, you're not pressing hard. That's super important with colored pencils. It's not a hard press. You're laying down a light layer of color because you can always come back and go right over the top. Okay, so it looks pretty much like you've colored it with almost like a crayon, right? Doesn't look all that great. You can certainly go back in there and fill it in so you get a beautiful solid color without question. But you can also grab some Gamsol and a stubby. This is just compressed paper. That's all this is, compressed paper. And you sand it with a little sanding tool that it comes with, and you just shave off, sand off the color that you just used. Gamsol is a little bit of magic in a bottle. So you can see that compressed paper taking in that liquid. You definitely do not want to dip your stubby into your Gamsol. If you don't have one that has a little foamy on the top, put it in a little container, or put some maybe on a cotton ball and put that cotton ball in a little container and then dip into it. Because if I dip my stubby into my Gamsol, it's going to go as fast as possible. It's just gonna absolutely suck all the way up, and there's no way of getting it out. Once you've got it in there, it's just gonna dry and go to waste. So, I'm gonna do one side with the Gamsol and leave the other side as is. So that's what Gamsol does. It smooths it out. Look at how nice and pretty that is versus over here where I just colored. Gamsol just takes a colored pencil, any colored pencil, and it smooths it out so you don't see those crayon-like drawings coloring in. It doesn't turn it to a paint per se. We'll see more of that when we get into our watercolor pencils. And if you really want to learn about both the watercolor pencil and colored pencils, I recommend you see my In the Studio with Stacey classes for this month, for May, because it is all on colored pencils and watercolor pencils, and we really go into depth on them. The whys, the what fors, the how-tos, the why nots. So much better, right? Okay, so let's do it with my D. What color do we want to use? So I don't know what color I want to use, so I'm going to do a little bit, maybe a little bit off the top, just to see what it's going to turn into. Since I know I'm going to be cutting that off. That's pretty. Oh, that's a blue. I think I'm going to go here in the D. So I'm just going to come in, and depending on if I want to leave some highlight or no highlight, I'm just going to lightly add some color. I'm not trying to press hard. Colored pencils aren't about getting all the color down in one pass. It's about layering color. And this is why I say anybody can do this. It doesn't take a high level of skill. And yet it makes you look like an absolute rock star. And people will not believe. First, they're going to think that you hand drew the letter for them. And then they're going to think you came in here and how did you paint it? Let them think. So you could literally leave all of these in the book, all the letters in the book, and just start coloring them page by page, and don't cut them out until you need them. But what a super thoughtful gift for people. Okay, so I've got my D is now colored, and it looks like it was colored with a crayon, but that's when we start with the Gamsol. And we start melting that color into each other and softening it. I know that sound can be nails on a chalkboard for some. So put your headphones in when you're doing this and listen to your favorite music, and you won't even know the sound. So look at the difference already. Look at that difference already. And stubbies come in different widths. I mean, I've got them I've got several different sizes, so if you need to get into a tighter space or you want a smaller stubby to work with just because you're more comfortable with that, comfortable. Kids can do this. Safe for kids, safe for seniors, safe for everybody. New crafters can do this, and you will look amazing. And again, it's a very good decompressor because you're just sitting in front of the TV or sitting in front of your computer listening to somebody on YouTube, I don't know who. So now I can come back, I've got it done, and depending on if I want, I can come in and add more color. I can put down another layer of color. I can make it a little darker in some areas. And see what I mean by the outline is just disappearing into what I'm doing. Just a little darker in some spots. I added a little bit of shadow. Well done me. Then I can come in. Am I happy? If I'm happy, I move on. Maybe just a little bit here. Fill up a little bit of that white space. You really can't make a mistake with this. It's really just that simple. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, now I can come in and I can do my flower. So let's do my leaves. And my stem. And let's take another stubby, and maybe this one I go a little smaller. And I just fill that, all that white space in. And smooth out the pencil lines. stems and leaves are done. Now let's do my flowers. Now I don't know, I think these are marigolds, but I'm not overly familiar with how marigolds look, so we're just gonna go for it. I think these are marigolds. And see, that detailer is not moving. It is not making mud. Now, because I'm not certain, I'm just doing a little bit of yellow on the outside. So I'm just following that line of where I drew. I'm just following along the inside of my black line where I drew it in. Of course, I didn't do any of the drawing. Katy Sue did. Thanks, Sue. You make me look really good. So now I don't have to move this at all. If I don't want to move this pencil, I don't have to move it. I could call it done. I left a lot of negative space. So negative space is the white space that you didn't fill in. Because I'm going to grab a little of this color and I'm just going to pull it into a little bit of that white space. So let's see if I can get that done. So I'm smoothing it out, but I'm not filling in all my white space. That way I have a little bit of highlight and some shadow. So now I smoothed this one out, but I left some white space. Now I'm going to do the same here and here. Smooth it out, but leave a little bit of white space behind. Kind of pull it down. It's not going to move really far because this isn't turning into a paint. This is not a watercolor pencil. These are just colored pencils. But what they do is amazing. And it's a completely different look than a watercolor pencil. And I'm just smoothing out those lines so it doesn't look so much like it was just scribbled in, which it was. Okay, there's my D. Done. Now we're going to come back and we're going to finish this, but I'm going to put it to the side for now, and I'm going to grab my E, because my E I did not outline at all. There's no outline in my black marker at all. So what color do we want to use for my E? What color is? Ooh, that's pretty. That's lovely. Ooh, I like that. This is my testing area up at the top. I'd be cutting that off anyway. Oh, I love both of those. I've got kind of a burgundy and this violet purple. It's so pretty. So let's see. We'll go my violet purpley. So now I'm going to just draw around my E with my little violet purple. And again, I'm not trying to be exact. It's not important to be exact. You saw with this one, the lines just kind of fade into oblivion. So if you don't want a black line around it, you don't have to. And I'm not pushing too hard. I'm not trying to get all my color down. I'm actually using a really light touch because I know I can go back and forth over it. Okay, so I've got my E drawn. Now I can scribble, scribble, scribble a little bit. And I'm just scribbling. Just on the inside a little bit to build that line up a little bit more. See, and this is where having the Z and the X and maybe the U, even though they give you some to play with in the beginning at the front, it's nice to have a few extra that you can play with and really get your technique down. Really, it gives you the opportunity to try different things, to play with different mediums on it, to try your pencils, your watercolor pencils in different ways without ruining any of your actual letters that you would want to use for somebody's real name. Oh, I just went outside of that one. Oh well. I wonder if my eraser will take it off. I went outside my line. Yes. Yes, it will. All right, so my E has kind of got some heavier lines. Now let's grab my Gamsol. And we'll start to soften it. And I'm just going around and filling it in. Everybody can do this. And the thing that's different about colored pencils versus watercolor pencils is that you can come back. Ooh, which one did I use? No. Yes, you can come back right away and add more color if you need. If you haven't gone far enough, if you need to add a little bit more, you don't have to wait for your paper to dry. You can come right back in and smooth right back over and keep going. Because it's not going to move quite like a paint. You'll see with the watercolor pencils, it moves dramatically different. No. Yes. And a light touch. So you can't really make a mistake because there's nothing wrong to be done. You add a little, you blend a little. You add a little, you blend a little. And if you get it outside the lines, you grab the eraser that comes with it and you erase a little. I could sit in front of the TV and be doing this and be quite happy with myself. You can be, this is an easy thing to travel with. This is an easy thing for kids to play with, for you to take with them and they can craft along with you. outside my lines. A little erase. Okay, so I've got my E about done. And now what color do we want to make our flowers? Well, do we like orange? Do we like pink? Decisions, decisions. And now I just do the same thing and I just trace. I just trace. It almost looks like an F like that, but when I add in my flower, and just kind of have that color orange melt into each other. And if I want a little more orange somewhere, okay, I think I'm going to let those be for right now. And let's do our leaves. So with colored pencils, it's all about how soft the pencil is, how thick the lead is, what's called lead. The thicker the lead, the color, the thicker the core, the better your pencil, and the softer it is, the easier it is to make blends. So while the Bruynzeel, the Expressions, which is the brand we have from Bruynzeel, is considered student grade, or creative grade, when they're talking about student, they're not talking about an elementary school student. They're talking about an art student. Look at me go. And you get, what, 54 images to color. For like $22. Even if all you're doing is getting it as a practice pad, it's a great pad. Okay, so I'm going to add a little darker green and maybe a little pink. Now, when you're going to sharpen these, no more than a twist and a half. A twist and a half, and be done. You want to use the right sharpener for the right tool. So I'm going to add a little pink in here maybe. And maybe a little darker green towards the bottom of some of these. And again, I'm a scribbler. I can get away with scribbling because I'm going to let that Gamsol smooth everything out for me. Gosh, if Gamsol could smooth everything out for me. So now I need to go in and soften that. So I've got my green. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this darker green. To give a little bit of depth. To my leaves. A little bit of depth to my leaves. So they're not just all one color. And I've got my pink, so this one was pink. I'm just going to use the same one. And a little bit of, just to mix that pink into that orange. Just a little bit. See? It's been softened in. This one I still have to soften. Did you know that colored pencils could be so easy and so forgiving? Now I've got these, I think I'll do them in the orange. I've got these little lines that are kind of out, kind of going out, so I think I'll just do them in the orange. And I'm not going to soften those at all because they're not meant to be. What do we think? So I did not go outside of this at all. Now I may take the color that I did my E, now that it's done, and I may just go and outline it. And again, my lines are not perfect. I'm just trying to give it a little outline so that E stands out just a little bit more. But I did not use a black pen. And because it's colored pencil, you don't have to smooth it out. I'm using it just as a pencil right now. Okay, I just defined it out just a little bit more. So we did 2 with our colored pencil. We started with outlining, whether you like more of a thicker line or a thinner line. This one almost disappears, but I love how it looks with that fine line from the detail. I want to say they call them Detail Masters. Yasutomo. 5 pens. They're a pigment-based pen, and they don't move with water. I really like that. And then my E doesn't have any black on it whatsoever. So different looks, different choices. But you get 54 different things to do with these, so you've got options. Now, I'm going to take this and move this right. I'm going to move my pencils right over here because we're going to finish these. And I'm going to bring over from Katy Sue. They have these new aperture frames. So they are big. It's a large square trifold. Card size is 195 mm by 195 mm. So is that 8 by 8, 10 by 10? Maybe 8 by 8, 9 by 9. They're big. You get 6 cards and 6 envelopes, and this is 300 GSM. So you can put pictures in it. The quilling is what you're supposed to put in it. No. Look at how cute is this. You can use these for anything, and they are a trifold. And what that means is that you're going to put your picture here, and then you back it and seal this up, and then that leaves you a card. And they do come with envelopes. Bless their pea-picking hearts. Look at this bad boy. That's an envelope. It's got to be 9 by 9 maybe. It's big. But if you're putting the right thing in it, it's perfect. What a great way to give a wedding, a picture from the wedding, or a baby picture, or a sonogram picture. Oh my gosh, these could be used for just about everything. But we're going to use one of them for this, and then we're going to make a card out of the other. So I've got my trifold. And then this goes with the trifold aperture. These are a matte and sentiments. I honestly think these are worth the money just on their own, even if you don't use the matte. I want to say they're $8.99, $7.99, something like that. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. And even if you don't use the mattes, it's worth it for the sentiments that are inside. It's absolutely worth it for the sentiments inside. So we're going to use one of these. Let's see, what color goes best? So I can pop this out. Oh, I think that looks okay. What do you think? So this piece fits right on top of the aperture. And then this fits right in there to make a completed picture. So let's do that. So I can cut this down. Cut some off here. And some off here. And I think the big thing about when you're using these is that you remember how if you're giving it as a card, how your card's gonna have to open. Remember, it's gotta open like this. So your picture has got to go, whether it's a picture of you, your dog, your cat, the wedding, your picture has got to go here. And because you're going to close it, you need to make sure you close the right side. So you want to be able to open it so you can see a card. If I accidentally taped this side down, well, which is the side I want? I want it that way. That's what I want. I want that way. That's the side I want to tape down. So if I had done it the other way, I would be opening it backwards. I don't want to open it backwards. All right, so I'm going to tape this down, and it doesn't really matter. All you're going to do is line it up. Nobody's going to see the extra around the outside. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to grab some Stacey tape, and I'm going to figure out where it's centered. That looks good. Just moved it. Put down some Stacey tape. Done. And then put some around the other sides. Bam. So remember, I want a card. So I want it to open that way. If I accidentally tape this side down, now my card's opening backwards. So you just want to make sure you're taping the right side. Yes, that's the right side. Pull off my tape. Okay, we hear you. And close her up. And now she is encapsulated there. Then I have my mat that comes with it. You get 8 of them. Pretty, right? All I have to do is add a little bit of Stacey tape I'm gonna go a little bit narrower around the outside edges. You would do a better job of taping than me. I'm just trying to get it down. And we're done. Now, my sentiment, because they all come with sentiments. And you've got wishing you a beautiful day, sending you love and hugs. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. Happy birthday, sending you sunshine. Thanks a bunch, you're blooming lovely. Wishing you a day filled with flowers. Birthday wishes grow happy thoughts, especially for you. A little bouquet for you. Wishing you a wonderful day. Keep blooming. Celebrate and shine. Today on your birthday, best wishes, keep blooming, thinking of you, you're blooming amazing, wishing you a special day, bloom bright, your kindness blooms endlessly, birthday wishes, keep growing, wish you luck, you brighten every day, wishing you a brilliant day, sending you happy thoughts. Every one of them has different sentiments. Get well soon, sending you all my love, best wishes, happy birthday. You're blooming lovely, especially for you. Thanks a bunch. Every one of them has different sentiments. So even if you didn't use the frames, I'm telling you, the sentiments are well worth it. Now, let's decide what we want to put. Thanks a bunch. And I can put it right on there if I want. My D's a little crooked. Well, yeah, it is. But okay, don't worry about it, Stacey. My D's a little crooked. I can put it there. What color paper do I have? Oh, that looks like a really good match. I can mat it. Doesn't that look like a really good match? Sometimes you just get lucky that way. Now I could have inked the outside. I could have put Stacey tape and put glitter around the outside of the frame to decorate the outer edges. I mean, there's so much you can do. And you'll see in the samples, the girls have done a lot. They really took the frames and went with it. So if I do a thanks a bunch, with just a little bit of this color behind it. No stamping required. And I think the I Want It All bundle is like $35 or $36, and that gets you the pad with the 54 images to color, that gets you the aperture cards, that gets you the sentiments and the frames to go around. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. What a thoughtful little gift. You could tape it all down and then put it on a little easel for somebody. You don't have to make it a card. We could tape the entire thing together, giving it even more structure and stability, and put it on a handmade easel or die cut out an easel. And this can sit on somebody's desk. This can live in somebody's kitchen. This can be on somebody's mantle. What a thoughtful gift. And when you don't know what to do for somebody, their initial's perfect. It's perfect. They think you went out and drew that for them. Sure, I did. Absolutely. Okay. But then I wanted to make this into a card. So let's trim this one out. And let's see what paper we want to use for this one. I'm going to put it on orange. Almost. Oh, it's by a hair of a chinny chin chin. Let's take it down a little further. Oh, that was a bad cut. I don't know if I'm going to be able to salvage that. You're like, well, if you just had a trimmer, Stacey. Well, I don't know if I'd be able to salvage it on a trimmer either. There we go. Ta-da! Feel myself going oh so close to too far. Oh, so close to too far. All right, I'm gonna call it done. And let's mat it. And then I wanna mat it on something else. Okay, I am not angry with this at all. Again, you'll do a better job of taping than I will. And then let's put it on here. Or is that too matchy-matchy? Oh, that looks striking on the blue. Okay, that's too matchy-matchy. Oh, and look at it, it almost fits perfect. Okay, it was meant to be. I don't even have to like trim this down. Take a little bit off the top of my orange. That was a little bit of kismet right there. Trust me, I did not plan that, but I'm not going to say no to it. So if you're watching for the first time, my classes are not scripted. They're not pre-done. I don't make stuff and then say, poof, here it is. We make it together. You watch it from start to finish, the good, the bad, the, the sometimes oopsies. And maybe you're crafting along with me. Or maybe you're saying, I did not know colored pencils could be so easy to use. Or maybe you're saying, my name is Evelyn and you can send me that card when you're done, Stacey. Do you know how long it took me to know that that Yvette starts with a Y? That was my brain forever. Why doesn't Yvette start with an E? Yeah. And now all we need is a sentiment. I think that blue looks amazing against that. Now all we need is a sentiment, and we come back over to our friends because we got oodles of sentiments here. Even if you don't need, I mean, so you used the frame. We used the frame. And we needed one sentiment for the frame. We could have picked a sentiment from any frame, but still, you're left with this many sentiments. I think the frames are worth it just for the sentiments alone. So what sentiment do I want? Do I want thank you? Do I want thanks a bunch? Maybe the problem is there's too many to choose from. Wishing you a beautiful day. Happy birthday. I think that'll do. And I think I'm going to do it in that, okay, I have another piece. I'm like, I hope that wasn't the last piece of that blue. Oh, that'd have been bad. Well, we just wouldn't have been able to make the sample exactly the way I thought we were going to make the sample. Now, what did I do with that other? Okay, so I have a happy birthday or happy birthday. And what happened to, oh, here, wishing you a beautiful day. So let's get these down and cut them out. And then we have made our first two samples and we can move to watercolor pencils. I love this kit. It's not a kit, I love this pad. And I do appreciate the quilling aspect of it. Truly, I do. I also appreciate that I know me and that we all have our strengths in something, and perhaps my friend Melissa will want the leftover letters. She can have my leftover pad, And there happens to be an S in there, Melissa, because I haven't used it yet. And you can figure out how to do that. It's stand-up quilling. The paper literally stands up. You have to do a thin line of glue, and then you have to put your paper there and then like hold it there for a sec. But on top of that, you have to bend the paper where all the little bends are to go around. Oh no, no, no. No, no, no. But I understand it's very popular in the United Kingdom, and that is, I really give props to anybody who can sit there and do that. I don't know how, and I really give them props. It's absolutely stunning when it's done. Probably should have come at the same time. That way I made sure my borders were the same width. Zoop. Zoop. Sound effects required. Zoop. Okay. So, Evelyn, I don't know if there's an Evelyn watching. It's definitely not E for Yvette. Or Erica. There we go. So 1, 2, completely different things. Same size letters out of the same pad. All right, let's watercolor. So we were playing with the colored pencils, which were here. Now in tray 1 is where my watercolor pencils live, right here. And watercolor pencils behave completely different than a colored pencil. Entirely different. So let's bring my X over. So we're not going to need our Gamsol anymore, and we're not going to need our stubbies anymore. Instead, we're going to swap them out for some watercolor brushes. No Gamsol, no stubbies. Grab some of my watercolor brushes. I'll grab a flat and a round. These are my Fusion watercolor brushes from Yasutomo. I love them. This is the bamboo. So this set is sold like this, and it comes with the bamboo carrier and 5 of your rounds. And then the flats are sold just like this. How did we get... We got 2 of the same brush in there. Zoop. 4 flats. And those 4 flats will fit in the carrier. And now we're able to sell all of them open stock. So you can have, if you want 5 of this size, absolutely. You can get whatever you want now. But the bamboo carrier is the traditional way of drawing your pen or your paint brushes. I love Fusion brushes. So I've come back to my X because on the top we did our colored pencil, and on the bottom we're going to do watercolor pencil. Now I'm going to flip it over. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just grab here. So watercolor pencils. First off, let me grab a color that we're not going to use. First off, you do not take your watercolor pencil and dip it in water. No, that's not how watercolor pencils work. If you do that, and then you come back to work with it, and you've dipped it in water, when you add your water to make it a paint, you are going to be left with scratch marks. See those scratch marks? I'm never going to be able to get rid of them because I dipped it in to water first. You do not dip your watercolor pencils into water. You can take your paintbrush and put your paintbrush on your pencil and then come and paint with it. You can do that. You just need to know that before your paintbrush or your watercolor pencil can touch paper again, it must be dry. And that'll take a few minutes for it to dry. But you can absolutely come and grab and do this. You also can come and grab and make a paint here to palette paint. You absolutely can palette paint. My brush or my watercolor pencil is not wet. So I can paint whatever I want. The minute though I get it wet, I can't use it on paper until it has dried. And it will dry. It will just take some time because it's going to leave scratches. And we do not want scratches. Do not put your watercolor pencil into your water. That is not how these work. So if you really want to learn more about watercolor pencils, go to my In the Studio with Stacey classes for this month. I'm working with colored pencils and watercolor pencils, and the do's and the don'ts are super important about them. So I can come in and grab a color and I can lay it down. Now it looks just like colored pencil. In fact, it looks just like a colored pencil. You're going to know the difference by the watercolor pencil is going to have, let's see if I can get that word in there. There we go. There's your Aquarelle. That's going to tell you that's a watercolor pencil versus a colored pencil. And even though it lays down and it looks just the same, this isn't something you take Gamsol to do. This is something you take a paintbrush to do. So I've colored in part of it, but look at how much space I've left. Where negative space isn't something you necessarily want a lot of when you're dealing with a colored pencil, negative space is something you do want a lot of when you're dealing with a watercolor pencil. Because the minute you get it wet, You change it from a pencil form to a paint. And you need that negative space to move that paint somewhere. It's got to move somewhere. If you color the whole thing, then you're just going to have the same color all the way through. Now with watercolor pencil, I cannot come right back on top of this while my paper's wet. I could do that with my colored pencil. I just went right over the top and grabbed some Gamsol and away I went. My paper has to be dry before I put my pencil back to it. Otherwise it will leave scratches. So if you do not want to wait for your paper to dry, I need to give a sharpen. That's where that palette painting comes in. And I can pick up that color and I can add so that's where palette painting comes in. If you don't want to necessarily wait to be able to add more pencil directly to your image, you just go in there and you palette paint it. Or you take it off your paintbrush and write on. So watercolor pencils really do make a paint. Unlike colored pencils, which do not make a paint. Can you blend them? Yes, yes, of course you can. You can blend easy peasy. Let's grab some of my letters. Well, I've got the Q ready to go. It's on a little, I did it with the thick, but maybe we'll just do the Q because it's already outlined. N is sure pretty. Now what colors? So I'm not outlining it. I need to leave some negative space. I'm filling in my N. Some water. And then I want to make a paint. And I'm just staying inside the dotted lines. I'm just pulling that color right up. And I think I might do a little palette painting. Outside my lines. Zoop. So I like doing these with a flat because I can stand it straight up to get into the little areas. A little water is all it takes. A little bit of water. And I've done it where it kind of ombres up. So if I wanted a little darker towards my bottom, a little bit more color. And light at the top. So my end is about done. Now I may come in, because I want my flowers to be more defined out, I may come in and draw my flowers in. Keep my fingers out of that while it's wet. and just copy what I see. And I don't even have to be, I'm not anywhere near exact. All I want is a nice guide, because right when I start to add my color, everything pretty much disappears anyway. This is just allowing me to kind of define my flower out so it doesn't look totally abstract when I watercolor it. And then on my end, I'm going to take and go around with my pencil, and I'm not going to get it wet, or I'm not going to watercolor it. I'm just going to use it as an outliner. Just like we did with our colored pencil. But I'm not going to get it wet. Darn it. We'll see if I can get that off. I went a little wide. So I'm using the eraser that it comes with. I went a little wide. Okay, now my end is detailed out. And then I can go back in and color my flower. What color do we want to make the flower? So we've got red. How about we go maybe a little purple? So I just added a little bit of purple all the way around to the outside. And then I'm going to softly smoosh it in. Just really softly smoosh it in. I want to leave a little bit of that purple detail. Just softly smoosh it in. I could add a little extra color if I wanted of something. Maybe just a little bit of pink. Because I used very little of that purple, I just wanted to smoosh it in, giving me a place to put some of my pink. Watercolor pencils are very forgiving, just like colored pencils. They're one of the easiest ways to color. Maybe just a little bit of a light lavender. So my flower's coming out great. And then my leaves. I'm leaving lots of negative space. And I turn that green into a paint. Just a little bit more. Now this is where having that tip to tip is really nice, because you can go in there maybe even one a little bit narrower. And go in there and just get the tip. And you can add your fine lines. So I'm adding the fine lines to my leaves, just doing that tip to tip. Now my green is wet, so I'm not going to be able to take it straight to my paper. But I'm adding even more detail now by doing my super fine lines. And if I went with a finer tip, my finer paintbrush, the lines would even be finer. Now I leave it. And let's bring over my Q. And my Q, maybe I go And then we'll see what we get. So I've done 2 colors. And look at that just turn into paint. See how that just turned right into paint? And blend my colors. And if I want a little more yellow, and blend my colors. And make my paint. Only it's not paint, it's pencil, but it's paint once you add water. But you're not walking around with a paint set. And really you only need as much water. You need a little water in a little cup. And that'll do ya. And just give it that very watercolory look. Organic and kind of beachy. I like it. I like it. What do you think? Do we like it? I do. As a matter of fact. Oh, that was supposed to be a leaf. I got so busy coloring. Ah. They're orange now. So remember, watercolor pencils, no Gamsol. I'm just putting both my colors down. There, a little green there. And let's go in and add them. So I've got all my color. I've scribbled it all in, and it's scribbled. And I'm just tapping them into each other. Not even really painting. I'm just tapping the two colors in and then letting the water do its work. I'm just tapping it with water and then letting the water do its work. I'm just tap, 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 get everything a little wet, and then let them blend into each other naturally. Again, a very organic-y looking watercolory. If I want to add more pink, I can come up and palette paint. Oh, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. The green, I gotta do the green. So I'm just gonna add, like I said, tap, 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 and I'm gonna let the water do the work. Because the space is small, so the water will move it around itself. Oh, my cue's pretty cool. I like my cue. Quentin? Quinn? I don't know. We're gonna have to find somebody with a cue name. I like my cue. So I've got my N and my Q. So let's see what we have in the way of frames to finish them off. I got all these sentiments. Oh, that's very happy, right? That's okay. What about the N? Okay, so which one are we gonna make the frame and which one are we gonna make a card out of? Now, if I wanted, I could come back and I could outline my N if I wanted after the fact too. You don't have to do it in the beginning. I could come in and outline it as well if I wanted. Oh no, that's better. I think that's better, don't you? How about we do, oh, I think they both look good. Now what I want is a little bit of my gold watercolor to splatter all over these. My Ecoline Gold, I don't know where it is, but it is. But it'd be fun to go in and splatter these a little bit. I don't know if I should splatter them or not. Decisions, decisions. I don't know if I'll get enough color to be able to splatter. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it wet enough. That was a good splatter. All right, I got some splatter going. Good enough. My pencil needs to dry. It just needed a, oh yeah, I like the splatter. The splatter helps. Splatter makes my heart happy. I'd love some gold splatter on there, but, well, I didn't grab my gold stuff. So let's grab another aperture. N is going to go in this way. Put a little Stacey tape on it, and then I'll try to center it. That looks good. Why didn't I grab my gold Eco line? I don't know why I didn't. I need to have that on my space at all times. Just needs to be on my space. Now I want to make sure that I fold my card right. So if I'm going to give it as a card, I want to make sure that I got the right side going against. So it's the left side folds in. But if I'm going to make it as an easel or put it on an easel, then I would just fold both sides in and seal them all up. Okay, well that really does look it's very watercolory happiness. And then that around the outside. Oh, this is so pretty. Somebody's gonna love this. Nancy. Natalie, Nicole, Nikki, Natasha. And now what do we want for our sentiment? You brighten every day. Hey, I'm just going to put it on. Or should we mat it? Do I have a little bit of purple? Tiny bit of purple? But then the purple on there, I don't think so. No, we're just going to mat it. And we're just going to go for it. I'll put it up there. You brighten every day. Done. And then put it in the envelope and away we go. Last one. And I think I might like okay, let's trim this down. So, Katy Sue, you had quilling in mind, but I saw something totally different. Something that even more makers could use, whether they're using it as their practice pad to play with their watercolors, their mixed media, their colored pencils, their watercolor pencils. One other color that I might like better. Like, what do you mean better? Oh, am I out? Is that possible? No. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I like that very much. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more. Scissors are not my friend today. There we go. Better. Okay, so I'm going to put that right on there and I'm going to trim this down. So value for money, absolutely with the pad, without question. Giving you so many different ways to make something special for somebody else. And being that doing monograms, to do a stamp set in a monogram would be, in this size, would be a fortune. To do a die set in this size would be a fortune. But I love the pad. And I love how you can use it as a practice pad with the initials you're not necessarily going to use. And I love that it is portable and it's affordable and that you can do so many different things with it. Yeah, getting there. Yeah, it just pops on that yellow. It's bold and it's bright. I need to get it centered. I'd love to stand up, y'all. And now a sentiment. I think the sentiment needs to go on top. a bigger one on the bottom. No, I think that bottom is too heavy. I think it just needs to be small and at the top. And I don't know if I have another piece of small yellow. I always go through the yellow first. Always. It never ends that I go through the yellow first. I'm going to have to cut up into a big piece. It's inevitable. I am so predictable. And we have this, I'm using Reveals paper from Sizzix. We have it on a deep discount sale. I guess I'm just going to move it over to the, I'm going to add it to the YouTube Yummy sale, the Saturday with Stacey sale. And I'll just tell Sizzix about it later. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Now these scissors are my friend. Thank you. Okay. Nope. Thank you. So I made a mess, but what's new? I love this pad. I love the price of it. I love the idea behind it, although not necessarily the quilling idea behind it, but I love the painting idea behind it and being able to have all of these letters at your fingertip. You can leave them right in here and color them, and then when you need them, cut them out and make something. You could just come in here and trace. Go ahead and trace all of them. Get them started. Go ahead and do all of that work if that's what you want them to be. And then when you're ready to paint or to color, you're good to go. Get it all done ahead of time. Just sit down, watch some TV, and take it letter by letter. And again, perfection is not what we're going for, because by the time we add our color, you don't see any of it. It just disappears. It's fabulous. So this is from Katy Sue. Love it. Took it in an entirely, it doesn't even show painting on the front. It shows quilling. Pay no attention to the quilling. No, let's do something fun. Let's color, let's watercolor, let's color pencil. And these three are 3 peas in a pod. So the frames and all the sentiments, and I think you get 8 of those. And you've got 6 of your apertures, whether you're using it for pictures or you put your new monogrammed something for somebody in it. This is the I Want It All bundle. And I think it's around $35 for everything. And my gosh, you would be playing for forever. This will give you so many cards. Wait till you see the layout we've done with it. Darling, SMS Girl Claire, darling. But if you are on a crafty budget, this fits your needs. It gives you your sentiments. It gives you your focal point. You can jazz it up if you need something as a gift. Make the rest of them into cards. You've got enough sentiments to do everything here. This was a value. And then what we have left in our Bruynzeel, I'll put it, it's been in the studio with Stacey for the past 3 weeks, but we'll include it into the Saturday with Stacey YouTube Yummy sale. When they're gone, and I don't know, I'm anticipating close to a year, up to a year before we see anything from Bruynzeel again. And then we've got the fusion brushes, whether you buy the rounds with the bamboo, or you buy the flats, or you buy open stock. It's entirely up to you. And then you will see that the girls have used these little are they Sakura? Yeah, Sakura jelly roll. These are metallics. So in some of the samples, they've used the Sakura metallics to just kind of highlight out. Now you and I, we did a lot. We made a lot. We went here and we went here. And we did here. And we did here. That's what you and I did together today. And I think they're wonderful. But the SMS girls and honorary SMS girls also went and did some wonderful. And we even did some that had nothing to do with the alphabet, with the letters. Look at how pretty is this, right? Isn't that beautiful? And get well soon. Love that. And sending you sunshine. So here you've got that metallic pen, the jelly roll going around the little drops. I don't know if I can get a good image of it, but you've got a metallic jelly roll going around there. So you've got that watercolor pencil going on. This one was done with colored pencil, leaving lots of negative space. Just taking that colored pencil and then pulling it out, because it doesn't pull out like the watercolor, just pulls out a little bit, but look at leaving all of that negative space. Soft and sweet. And then here with the frame. Now, this is rice paper. And then you've got the K, beautifully done. You've got the frame, Life is Better with Flowers. Look at how beautiful is this. So that's taking that white frame and covering it up. And the nice thing is the only thing you have to cut straight is around the outside. The aperture gets covered with the frame. So here we've got K. So the two Ks, K and K. Done completely different. Completely different. And then we've got a watercolor G with a little bit of a blend going on. And here we've done the frame with rice paper in the center. This is from Papers for You. This is the rice paper we did from them in that big print. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Done with rice paper, not done with a letter at all. Look at how sweet. Got a little glitter going on in there. Thank you. So now the Y is being used as for the word you. Gosh, Yvette did this one. I haven't been saying who did what. Patty, Yvette, Katy, Yvette. I haven't been saying who did what. Sorry, guys. Yvette with a Y, not an E. Patty, Yvette, Claire, So pretty, right? And she really, look at that watercoloring she did. And this one is Patty. So she used the frame, but she made it a card. She didn't use the big aperture. Look at how pretty and soft. Same here. I don't know who did this one. I think maybe Patty did this one. And she just made a card out of it. She still used the frame and the sentiment, but she didn't use the big aperture frame. Oh, and look at this one. This one's Yvette. Ooh, open. Okay, I did. Holy smokes, artichokes. So here, this was done with the rice paper, the Papers for You rice paper. Look at that. Way to go, Yvette. That's beautiful. Beautiful. And then this one is Yvette with the rice paper. And she stamped some images just to give a little color. So this is the Papers for You rice paper you all got. Look at how beautiful is this. Yvette, these are gorgeous. Katy with the K. Look at how pretty. And here she's done it on the card. Katy with a K. And Katy again using that rice paper. Look at how perfect it is. She's got the rice paper on the outside and on the inside. Fabulous, right? So those frames don't have to be used for just this. Oh no, this one's Katy again with the rice paper. These aperture frames are amazing. See how many different things you can do with them? Here we've got Katy and her sweet little R. And Katy again. And here she's cut out some of the rice paper so it has a three-dimensional element to it. She added paper for the wood grain. And again, your aperture doesn't have to be exact. So pretty. This has to be Patty. Yep, P for Patty. And she did foiling. She did the mega flakes around the outside. So she's got the aperture. She's got the mega flakes going on. Look at that, the gilding flakes. Took Stacey tape, went around the whole thing, and off you to the races she went with those gilding flakes. And then Yvette, oops, backwards, LOL. Okay, so I'm going to assume that it opened, well, I think they taped it down. Okay, well, it is what it is. It's perfect, Yvette. Absolutely perfect. You've got the frame. You've got some leaves going on. Those look like they may be from All in Create. And then Claire made a stunning layout. Really, it's beautiful. And I want to make sure I don't spill any water over it. There's she die cut the heart. So the paper is big enough. Look at that. She was able to die cut the heart, do the A. Look at this for a layout. Yes. Absolutely, that's a great layout, all monogrammed. So pretty, Claire. This is beautiful. She is great at layouts, and Gail, honorary SMS girl. Gail is great at layouts, and Yvette is great at layouts. Honestly, they just do an amazing job. Catherine, she's got this. She's Catherine, honorary SMS girl. Catherine's got this kind of a whimsical touch and kind of mixed media vibe to her. And Mary, honorary SMS girl, Mary's in Florida. Come back soon, girl. We miss you. So we took Katy Sue and took it in an entirely different direction. If nothing else, this pad is worth it. It's just worth it. Well, as are the the Bruynzeel pencils that we have for the $48.99 as opposed to $81. So if you're able to, I highly recommend it. And if not, just remember, different quality, different outcome. Please, if you're looking for colored pencils or watercolor pencils, watch the In the Studio with Stacey this month, because it really discusses why there's a difference, what you're going to get with a 12 set of colored pencils for $4.99 versus a set that's more money. You'll be happier. You might want to save for a better set because you'll be happier in the long run. But Bruynzeel are beautiful, and I know I'm sad to see them have to, we're going to have to take a pause until they're able to come back. But I hope we're able to get their product in 6 months to a year, maybe. Oh, it's hard for me to say that. Anyway, I hope you had as much fun as I did. I really loved working with the product. I loved everything about it. It is so easy, so fun, so accessible to every level of crafter. And even if you're not a maker, have the kids do this. Tear out some pages in the pads and let them have at it. They will love it. So the next time I see you will be Monday for our Make It Monday event. I have got Hero Arts for you, a bundle that is, I believe, a little over $90 for $19.99. So I will see you Monday, 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, right back here on the Scrapbooking Made Simple YouTube channel. Where do you find all this great product? Well, the Katy Sue stuff right now, it's me. I don't think it's anywhere else right now. Not in widespread, at least. So Scrapbooking Made Simple for that. But certainly for cardstock, or maybe the Fusion brushes, or perhaps the Gamsol. Walk into your local independent retailer, say hello, and ask them what they have to make your heart happy. I am sure there is something in their store that will make your heart happy. All right, you guys, again, it's me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I'll see you all on Monday. Bye, everybody.